This conference will now be recorded.
Hello and welcome everyone. Uh, my name is Yasir Gulfraz. I'm your tutor for people in organizational, and we will cover learning outcome force today, which is understanding how organizations monitor and support people in the workplace. So, if you have any question, just drop me an email at tutor-management at ukversity.co.uk. Right. So today we are gonna start with main roles of human resource department. So have you got anybody got idea about roles of human resource management? Anybody, anything in your mind or any idea?
No, sir.
Right. Any guesses or anything?
Hmm.
Right. In journal in that there are different roles of HR department, uh, like ensuring the correct policies, as you seen on your slide, ensuring the correct policies and procedures are in place, assessing development needs, dealing with disciplinary issues, supporting in issues concerning conflict, advising managers, support for those leaving organizations, for example, retirement or redundancy, and policies and procedures or HR, the human resource development. So basically, the primary responsibilities of the Department of Human Resource include ensuring that the right policies and procedures are in place, determining the requirements of the future growth, resolving problems relating to discipline, and providing assistance with problem involving conflict, providing advice to managers, assisting employees who are leaving their jobs for reasons such as retirement or redundancy, also drafting policies, procedures, development of human resource management, and also that training of, here it comes up page 3. If you see here, that recruitment and selection criteria, uh, and every organization have a HR department. Okay, so these are their main responsibilities. So also recruiting and selection criteria, and then job descriptions and person specifications, contracts of employment, flexible working, family friendly, termination of employment, induction, appraisal, training, data protection, personal issues, okay, etc. So basically, another, they have a different kind of duties, also including recruiting and selection criteria, personal requirement, and job description. Okay, these kind of stuffs. So safety of personnel, a flexible working schedule, employment separation, introduction, evaluation, orientation, training, development, safety, and personal information. I'm just telling you in my own words, okay, Sumit? Some other extra,
Okay.
yeah, personal concerns such as recent death in the family or a pregnancy are the primary responsibilities of human resource development. If you go on the long term sick or sick, so that's a human resource development. He deals with your issues and concerns. So here is explain how HR department can provide support and monitor people within the workplace, like human resource. If you look around, human resource management responsible for recruiting, performance, training, research is a departmental duty. Okay, skills, employees, potential, right? So coaching and mentoring, it is main aim at meeting a specific objective in a given period. Coaching is a generally a one-to-one activity. Mentoring is an ongoing process to build wisdom, capability to apply knowledge and experience to any new task or situation. So mentoring is generally a group activity. Leadership mentoring program is used to identify employees within the organization with the basic quality, that can be used for developing future leaders. So uh, it is, get and accomplishing a certain goal with a specified amount of time. In most cases, coaching takes place, one to one basis. So mentoring is a continuing practice that helps develop wisdom, which may be, defined as the capacity to adopt one's knowledge and experience to any new activity, okay, or circumstances. So basically, it is HR department duty, about coaching and mentoring. Also, an apprentice or an intern being introduced to different department, and anyway, it's a very simple. It's talking about internees and apprenticeship. Have you got any idea about with different team members and one supervisor from her department impart training on a software are the example of mentoring and coaching. So it may be included that HR plays a wider role in achieving the business objective of the organization and not limited to the personal management. So example of mentoring and coaching including introducing new, the trainees or internees in to other department. So department having that intern engage with various team members and having a superior or supervisor from that department teach how to use a program. So it is possible to draw the conclusion that human resource, play a more, that significant part in the achievement of the business purpose of the firm that is kept to the management of employees. Got it, Sumit? Everyone? Any question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No,
So,
sir.
yeah. So next, mentoring and coaching are based on relationship between the mentor and the one who is being mentored, or coach and the one who is being coached. So the focus is on skill development. Both are aimed at improving the communication skills. For example, interpersonal communication skill development during interaction with employees of various departments, and mentoring and coaching increase commitment levels. For example, an intern mentored by the middle management person feels committed to the organization. So interns are able to acquire new skills with improved learning, right?
Okay, sir.
Sorry. And both, that he's talking about mentoring and coaching are built on the foundation of a connection between the mentor and the person who's receiving mentoring or the coach. Okay. So mentoring and coaching are proven ways to raise level of commitment, right? Okay. So assess policies and procedure designed to support and monitor people in the workplace. So any idea about policies and procedures, common workplace policies, as you know that you have a business as well. So have you got any idea about work and policies? No?
Yes, sir. Like a recruitment and selection process is the first one in a
Yeah.
workplace.
Okay. Okay. So common
Uh,
workplace
as
policies. Yeah. Carry on.
nothing, sir. Continue.
Okay. So common work policies. Here he's talking about, as you can see, code of conduct, recruitment policy, internet and email policy, mobile phone policy, non-smoking policy, drug and alcohol policy, health and safety policy, anti-discrimination and harassment policy, grievance handling policy, discipline and termination policy. So, code of conduct, basically, that it's a very common uh, policy found in most business. It is, it is a set of rule basically that companies expect employees to follow. So the rules
Mhm.
establish the expected behavior standards for all employees. Okay. So next one is recruitment policy. So how the company hires new people. Okay, so it set out the hiring process and aims to promote consistency in the recruitment process. He's talking about internet email, how companies expect employees to use their email accounts, how use their mobile phone. So non-smoking policy, it's basically I don't know about other countries, but it's uh, most common policies in UK, within the UK. Okay, so drug and alcohol
Okay.
policy covers a company rules regarding drug and alcohol use. It may mention procedures for dealing with rule breaking. It may also mention the procedure for dealing drug testing. Okay, health and safety policy covers a company obligations under work health and safety laws. So anti-discrimination and harassment policy is important. It's a very important to promote a healthy and positive workplace for all employees. So grievance handling policy is particularly important for all employees. Basically is a formal complaint made by an employee towards an employer, managers, or their superior. Okay, it's a complaint, basically complain against other employers or superiors, right? Procedure. So discipline and termination policy. So this policy establish how a company may handle employees who don't follow its policies. So this type of policy basically is very important for employees as it lists their right in terms of discipline and termination. Anything, any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Working environment. HR strives to provide a safe working place along with the opportunity to progress at every level of the employees. HR identifies these factors and try to influence the individual accordingly. However, a balanced working environment is being created by deploying attendance system and cameras in working areas, but every employee can share his or her views which may improve the organization performance. So human resource make every effort to provide workers a secure working environment as well as the chance to advance their careers at every level. So he's talking about that however an even more balanced working atmosphere is now being developed by installing an attendance system and cameras in working areas. Also every employee is allowed to offer his or her opinion, so which may help the organization overall performance, as it says. Here he's talking about MNS. Marks and Spencer encourages its employees to perform better for higher level assignment. The internal employees were being given performance preference than higher people from outside at middle and senior level position. So basically Marks and Spencer, that pushes, about Marks and Spencer anyway, everybody knows.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a quite big brand. So
Mhm.
pushes basically workers to improve their performance in order to be considered for higher level assignments. So when it came to the middle and senior level posts, so internal personnel were given preference. People who works already inside, they prefer over higher level candidates recruited from the outside. uh, got it? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so next is training and development. So most organizations focus on training and development of its employees with minimum training man days for every employee. However, it seems to be more of formality because the training have older concepts and ICT based business models and training is not being introduced. So, but IT based setup have been installed. Most organizations use IT in uh, internet or portal way of providing training as they have done during an annual basis. Sorry. So strong, that training and development of its or staff members. So it requiring a certain, number of mandatory training main days for each employees. So uh, on other hand, it seems like more of formality than anything else, since the training include outdated notions and ICT based business model and training are not being offered. So IT based setup has been established. So majority of companies do employ training through some kind of information technology, through their internet, online portals, emails, or online training, distance learning training, and as they have done on an annual basis. So basically, they provide courses and training sessions through internet or online portals. Uh, got it, everyone? Understand? Any questions, Sumit?
No, sir.
Okay. So next, page 12, he's talking about recruitment and selection. So Primark, have you heard about Primark?
No, sir.
Primark is a big company, basically clothes company. Is another brand, same as Marks and Spencer. It's not
Okay.
big as same Marks and Spencer, but is a quite big name. So Primark, UK based, has adopted a strategy of recruiting people from the local population, especially wards of ex-employees. The company puts the display on their notice boards. It may be helpful in building a trust among the local population. However, the company has well-defined criteria for every position, but it can create a monotonous environment because employees from other cultural background are not being deployed, which can be a limitation in case of global expansion by the organization. So Primark, has implemented a plan to attract individuals from the local community. Okay, so
Okay.
uh, the company posts the advertisement on its own bulletin board. It is possible that doing so will be useful in establish trust among the people in the community. So the organization has clearly defined requirements for each and every role. So this might lead to a atmosphere of dullness, since individuals from different cultural background are not being deployed. So this can be a barrier for the business in the event that it seek to expand its operation internationally. So basically, Primark strategy of recruiting people from local population. Okay, so also company has well defined criteria for every position. Performance management. So any idea about performance management?
Performance management, having a company put a targets on a sole proprietor or on
Right.
banks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, you're right. You're right in a way. Basically, that performance management system to determine their objectives and priorities for the next, year or 6 months or 12 months.
Yes.
Okay. So here he's talking about banking industry is particular use the performance management system to set the targets and goals. They check for next, uh, check and there's a check and balance system which is called performance management for next 12 months or for a year or so on. Goals at the beginning of the year. Each employee punches the financial and non-financial targets, for example revenue, training, development, half yearly and annual feedback. Okay, and then are given after employee self-assessment by the supervisor. So next level supervisor also reviews the feedback. Okay, the rating are shared online along the increment and bonus announcements, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, basically performance management system to you know determine their objectives and priorities for the next 12 months, 6 months or more. So every employee is responsible for meeting both financial and non-financial goals. He was talking about revenue, training, and development, right?
Okay, sir.
So employee engagement. So again, he's talking about Marks and Spencer has been able to achieve around 90% of the employee engagement during the consolidation phase of their domestic market before entering the global market. So consolidation phase basically when competitors, when your like your competitor comes and merge one to each other, that you just compete with
Mhm.
others.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So the company has consistently invited views, ideas, etc., for improvement and thereby achieved the set of objectives. Marks and Spencer has a motivated team, but new employees may not be having the same level of association, and hence the HR work practices are put in place to start engagement progress, especially for new employees. Okay, so here he's talking about that Marks and Spencer was able to achieve around 90% of the employee engagement goal. Okay, so Marks and Spencer has a workforce that is driven, but it is possible that new workers don't have the same degree of affiliation or training or the development. So because of this, Marks and Spencer's HR work procedure at the company have been modified to begin an engagement program, especially for new workers or employees. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So evaluate the impact of legislation on employee relations management in different organizational contexts. So need to study an employee handbook of an organization to understand the impact of legislation. And here he's talking about some, that acts or datas. So Data Protection Act, Equality and Diversity Act, Health and Safety Act, Employment Act, Discrimination Act, Minimum Wage Act. So basically, Data Protection Act, controls how your personal information is used. Okay, by
Mhm.
organization, business, and the organization. I think so. It's yeah, I'm sure it's uh, 2018 Data Protection Act. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So next is Equality and Diversity Act. So this is a law which protects your, from discrimination. It means that discrimination or unfair treatment on the basis of certain, personal characteristics such as age is now against the law is almost all cases. Then
Mhm.
he's talking about Health and Safety Act. Health and Safety Act, a legal duty on employers to ensure uh, you know the health, safety, and welfare of employees. So and to ensure that employees and others are kept safe. Employment Act. So UK Employment Act laws are in place to make sure that both employees and employers and employees are protected. Okay. Then is a Discrimination Act, same as like we discussed above. Equality Act is protect you from discrimination. Okay,
Mhm.
discrimination, racism, or this kind of stuff. So minimum wage act, basically minimum wage act is set out the minimum amount of pay a worker is entitled to per hour. So this wage is based on a worker age. It's a different wage if a worker is less than 18. Different is if his age is less than her age, his or her age is less than 22, and different when they are above 22. So there is also a specific rate for trainees. It is a legal requirement for employees to pay worker the national minimum wage. So right now the UK national minimum wage is £10 50 pence, I believe. So
Mhm.
that's it. Uh,
Yeah.
this was today and now references. So if you have any question, just let me know. Any questions or anything
No,
you want to ask? Have you started working on your assignment?
no, sir.
Okay, okay.
I have
Anyway,
no
you
access
can.
on more people organization.
Yeah.
So I have no the learning outcome 1 and 2 as well, and having no assignment brief.
No
So
assignment
what I
brief.
have,
Yeah. I will. You haven't got assignment brief. Okay. I think so. You will have enough time. There is one session for assignment as well. So
yes, sir.
I'll explain you that time. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a good day, and hopefully we'll see you next weekend. If you got any question, please drop me an email at tutor-management at ukversity.co.uk. Have a good evening and bye.